Hello and welcome to Tabletop for One. Today I am reviewing Red Rising by Jamey Stegmaier and Stonemaier Games. And I'm reviewing the solo mode of the game specifically. I have the collector's edition here with the foil cover, which is probably reflecting off the light right there. Red Rising is a hand management card drafting game where you play a card from your hand which does an ability or gives you a bonus, and then you pick up a card from another spot on the board, adding it to your hand. Sometimes those effects add additional cards to your hand or takes them away. But in the end, you score based off of how far you've reached on various tracks and bonuses, and then the cards themselves in your hand score points based off of combinations of cards or certain criteria being met with those cards in your hand. Now, Red Rising is a 10 to 20 minute game if you're really quick with it. It takes me about 20 minutes per game. I've had quick games and longer games. I've played solo about 11 times, I think it was, and I've won about half of them playing at the third level on the Automa difficulty. And I'll go into more of that later. But right now I want to focus on the five things, the five elements of the game that I want to review. And those five elements are the thematic integration of mechanics, the production quality, the gameplay, the ease of solo play, and replayability. Now first, the thematic integration of elements. Now Red Rising is based off of the book series Red Rising, and an excellent series, by the way. I've read 3 of the books. Actually, I read the books because I bought the game. And I was very happy that I did because I've really enjoyed the books. And the way the game captures the theme and its mechanics is the way the cards play off of each other. So the cards have different colors. There's 12 different colors. And then there are different people in those colors. And if you've read the books, you'll know that some of those people have more positive interactions with some certain other characters, and some characters don't like each other, and so the cards play off of that. So if you have certain card combinations, it could cause you negative points, but a lot of the combinations cause you positive points. Also, you have colors like the blue color, which in the stories represented pilots of the starships, and so when you play blue cards, you often interact with the fleet track on the game, whereas the gold cards are all about certain character interactions, or being the only gold card, or having multiple gold cards, or banishing a bunch of gold cards, and so on. All in all, it's a good theme for this kind of game. But my negative with that is there's so much more to Red Rising, right? It's not just about the character interaction and who works well with who, and what the different colors are. It's also, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's so much more. It's about Darrow and his rise to power, as in Red Rising. But I'd have to say it's a mix for me. So I'm glad this is the theme. I kind of wish this theme was on another kind of game, perhaps some sort of multi-theater game, maybe like Star Wars, the Queen's Gambit, where they had the multiple theaters, or even something like Pavlov's House, where it has the 3 different battlefields. Something that incorporates the different aspects of what makes the Red Rising story. You got the political, you got the military, and you've got the cultural aspects. So I don't know what that would be, but I would love to see another Red Rising game made by Stonemaier that explored those options. Nevertheless, we'll go back to this Red Rising and talk about number 2, the production quality. Now, I have the collector's edition, which I got very inexpensively from Stonemaier themselves. I think I have the champion membership with them, and so there's additional discounts. But anyways, the collector's edition comes with metal cubes, gold embossed cards for the gold cards, a nice board, all these nice little upgrades, and the cards are excellent. They're beautiful. The art is so well done. It is basically what you pictured those characters to be when you read the book, and then you see them on the cards. You're like, yeah, I know that character. I know who that is. There may be one or two you'd be like, well, that's not exactly how I pictured him, but that makes sense, you know. But yeah, the production quality is great. The card quality is excellent. I have very little to say negative, if anything, about the quality. I'm very happy with it. It's a Stonemaier game. Stonemaier really does high quality games, even on those non-deluxe, non-collector's edition games. They still have really high quality. And then let's move on to number 3, the gameplay. So the gameplay is very simple. You play a card from your hand, gain a bonus, and then you pick up a card from a different location. There's 4 locations on the board. And so it seems like there's not a lot of decision space, but oftentimes you're playing a card for its ability, but you want that card back in your hand later to complete a combo for scoring at the end of the game. So there's some really good decision making there that you have to decide, all right, am I going to do this? Is this card going to get covered up? Because when you take a card from a location, you can only take the topmost card. And sometimes the AI places the card right on the spot that you wanting to take that card back up. So you have to have contingency plans and that sort of things. And then you have to choose there's 3 different tracks or resources to gather. There's the fleet track, where you move the ship along the fleet track, and that scores you points at the end. There's the Institute, where you got to place influence, and then there's the Helium, where you gather those. And when you've got 7 in 2 of those, the game ends. Or if there's 7 in all 3 of them between you and the other players, in this case the AI, then the game ends. And so you have to be careful about that timing of that, because the AI could be pushing on a track, so you may not want to grab that Helium, which finishes off the game or something, because you want to get a card back. So there's really good decision making, and it's very enjoyable even after 11 plays. Let's move on to ease of solo play. So solo play is very, very, very easy. Now, if you know me, I don't like automas much at all. I'm more the kind of player that would rather play two-handed against myself than play with an automa, and that's a topic for another time. In this case, though, I'm very happy with the automa. It's very simple. It's flip a card, do what it says, flip a second card, do what it says, and then go back to your turn. And so it goes very quickly. It takes a couple rounds for you to get what the cards are supposed to do. But honestly, it's not that difficult. And the nice thing about it, and my major complaint about automas, is that they distract me from my own gameplay, and it like interrupts my train of thought, I guess you could say. And I don't enjoy the game so much when I'm not playing it, because I'm doing the automa, which is something completely different than what the game is. In this case, it's so simple and so quick that it doesn't distract me from playing the game at all, and I still have that continual enjoyment of playing the game, even when I'm doing the automa's turn, because I'm just right back to my turn, and I keep going. Again, that makes the game very quick and very easy to play. So as far as the difficulties of the AI go, this is my negative on this, and it has nothing to do necessarily with the ease of solo play. It's just I'm not too happy with how they implemented the difficulties. So you're supposed to pick out a difficulty, and the AI scores based off that difficulty. If you want to see how that's done, you can check out my tutorial video. But basically, it doesn't matter which one you choose, because it doesn't change what actually happens during the game. Basically, you're choosing how the AI scores at the end of the game. So on easy mode, it scores, 6 points per card it wants and 3 points per card it doesn't want. Again, this is not going to make sense unless you see the tutorial or play it yourself. But the next level up is, I think it's 8 and 4, and then the next one is 10 and 5. And so it doesn't matter which one you play against, because you can just basically see what you would have beaten at the end of that that game, because you could just check out the different scores. And so basically it increases the card scoring by a certain amount. So the AI difficulty doesn't matter. You just kind of see what you would have beaten or what you did beat. Okay, so my total score is better than the medium level AI. And now the AI scores are variable. There are some scores, I've played the medium difficulty about half dozen times, and they scored anywhere from 200 to 300 points, depending on what was going on. So they are variable. It's just it's fixed on the card scoring amount, and that's the majority of their points. So I just have a slight negative. I've talked about it more than I probably should have. I have a negative about that. I think there could have been a different way that they did that, but I'm not sure what it could be. Maybe I'll figure that out for my modifications videos. Nevertheless, in the end, I feel satisfied by how the AI played and how the end game happened. So let's go on to replayability. So that being said, the AI difficulties don't matter. So how does that affect replayability? That's number 5, replayability. I'd have to say it can be a negative, because basically you're playing the same game every time. Of course, the different cards are going to come out. You're going to have a different hand at the end of every game. So it really comes down to whether you like the actual gameplay. And I do. I really like it. It's quite fun. It's quick. And I think a lot of the other aspects of the game factor into how much I enjoy it. So the production quality and the ease of solo play, the theme, of course, all those things factor into my enjoyment. So the replayability is pretty high, and it's neat to see what kind of card combos I come up with. But I can see where, for some people, after 10 plays, they might not be okay. They might be, all right, I've seen this, I'm done, I'll move it on. But for $20, $30, you can get 10 plays out of it easy. I think it's worth it. But that's up to you. It's going to stay in my collection. I have no problem with that staying in my collection. I love the game. I love the theme. So let's move on to my overall rating. So I have those negatives, right? I think the theme is better fit somewhere else, but I do like the theme. Production quality is excellent. Gameplay is fun. The automa is easy. And I enjoy it. And the replayability for me is high. And so I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10 for the solo mode only. Let me know what you think. Have you played Red Rising? Have you been curious about it? Do you want to give it a shot? Have you read the books? Talk about the books. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the books. But definitely check out my tutorial video if you want to see it in action. I do a full gameplay through, and I show you the AI scoring at the end. So check that out. But please let me know in the comments below anything you thought about this game. I really appreciate you watching my review of Red Rising by Jamey Stegmaier and Stonemaier Games. Thank you for watching Tabletop for One. Please like and subscribe and comment as you would like to. And have a great night.